Hello and welcome to the coronavirus update for the 25th of November 2021, where we've now had over 5 million worldwide deaths, about a quarter of a billion cases. This is getting on for a significant fraction of the world's population now, and 7 billion doses given out, which is, it's getting on for one dose per every person on the planet. But of course, you need two doses to be fully vaccinated, and even that is maybe limited, due to the vaccine sort of wears off over time. Anyway, so let's take a look at the world deaths and see if we can get a brave estimate of when this is going to be over. So if we would take our deaths here and we would take our extrapolation, that's a line. It's not actually that bad of an anyway, so that means that this bit here is what's left to go on the world deaths, which is maybe 30%, something like that, which means that, we've had 5 million so far. So you're looking at 6, 8, probably that sort of region. Assuming the cases don't go up again, it's a total death toll for this sort of thing. And you may have heard that already in Europe it's starting to kick off again, which is a lot of the reason why the cases are going up here. With Austria, just down here, having recently announced they're going into full lockdown again, which has sparked riots and all that sort of thing. Now, is that justified or not justified? Well, let's take a look at Austria's cases. And you will see that Austria has almost doubled their previous maximum number of cases. And this is when they implement the lockdown. You may have recalled from previous lockdowns that, the time from when they introduce the lockdown to actually when you reach the peak is typically 2 weeks, that sort of thing. And, a death toll has gone up 30% in a week. So, this is not looking pretty. And for a lot of places in Central Europe here, it's looking very non-pretty. So, state of emergency has just been declared in Prague, Czechia, and you'll see why. Czechia also not exactly the picture of health here. Again, record number of cases, with cases going up. It's not quite a factor of 2 in a week, but and this is state of emergency has been declared. Nothing's really been announced as to what the hell that means yet. But the deaths is likely. Deaths lag cases by a couple of weeks, 1 to 2 weeks, that sort of thing. So, even if this rolls over very soon, some way it's curbed, this wave will probably be comparable to previous winter waves. So, and that's not alone. That's the Czechia there. You go up to Poland, and they're even worse. They're not only getting on for peak cases, they're going to head up for peak deaths. Their deaths are almost doubled in a week, and this is a textbook perfect exponent. Which is also, this is the low vaccination rate. If you take a ratio of the heights of the two peaks, that was the early COVID ratio of deaths per cases. And you see that the second wave is more or less the same. The third wave is more or less the same. Now, that magic ratio there is broken in countries like the UK. Now, the UK got very bad very early on, and then it's just kind of stayed bad with sort of, acceptable levels of, with non-exponent levels of death, which is, one of the big problems that they're going to run into in these Central European places is spikes are very bad for health service systems. If you've got a healthcare system, you've only got so many hospitals. And if they're overwhelmed, then your hospitals can't treat regular people either. So you almost lose twice as many people if you clog up the hospitals. So the UK's not actually been doing so bad like that. They've had high levels of cases, moderate levels of deaths, but they've not got to the point where they might saturate the system. And Germany, they've recently announced that they're going to be taking more additional steps. And you can sort of see why, again, record cases. They're smashing their previous record for infections. Now, again, the high vaccination rate, the deaths is actually, much lower than the previous wave. So, like I was saying, the ratio between these two is, your death rate early on. Here, it's changed by a lot. I mean, if that's... it's changed by a factor of 4 or something. In the UK is similar like this. So Europe, all across Europe, and of course the further this way you go, the further east you go, to places like Ukraine. Ukraine is very bad at the moment, arguably spiked. Maybe they've run out of testing capacity. This is another reason why you can do this. But yeah, they're at peak deaths, which is not really where you want to be. And Russia is even worse. So Russia has arguably peaked as well, but their deaths they're at peak deaths. Which brings us on to what the hell's going to happen on the other side of the pond in America. And America doesn't look good, in that, well, you might say, well, deaths are going down, that's good. But you'll notice that the cases have started going up again. And there is no case in the world where you reach a nice little plateau and it starts going up without it actually going into a wave that has a peak and that sort of thing. They all start off and they give significant peaks. So the mere fact that America was going down and now it's going up again, this is over the period of a month or so, means that this is likely to hook into a real winter wave. Just in time to be spread at Thanksgiving. Anyway, so the deaths were going down, and arguably, so this one here was the Trump wave, the big one, and this one's the Biden wave, which of course is somewhat diminished by the fact that there's been, what is that? About 60% vaccination, something like that, since. But yeah, I mean, there's still almost, the deaths in the Biden wave are as big as they were in the first wave, and this is likely to turn around for winter. So, if I'm making my predictions for America, America's going to get bad in probably peaking out by Christmas. I mean, you might argue that a lot of these European countries, there's a month to go till Christmas. So, most of these things don't. Actually, this one spanned out sort of over Christmas time. And it was kind of like that in Czechia as well. There was this huge spike that just, was it? Yeah, so this was the Christmas spike. And then there's another one a little bit later. So, if I was going to make my gambles for world deaths, this all looked fairly promising, and the optimistic appraisal is the deaths keep going down. If I'm going to make my guess, something more like that, where you're going to get a boost for winter. Actually, it's got to come off that one. So more like that, I would guess. So, this now adds, oh God, this is horrible. That's 1 year there. Okay. So this means that we have another year. Oh my God, that's Christmas next year. That's horrible. Oh no, that's July next year. There we go. That means that Christmas is going to be back. Yeah, so everything should be hunky-dory by next Christmas. That's my prediction. Oh no, that's if it's linear. There's another 6 months after that. Okay, well, I'm sure everything will be good by next Christmas. Anyway, so that rather depressing look at the um, state of play. Um, Difficult to know what's going to happen. I can't see. The thing is that once you start clogging up the hospitals, all of a sudden people appreciate the need to do things like lockdowns because, once you actually literally have hospitals dumping bodies in the streets or, in graves outside, yeah, the personal freedom at that point is probably outweighed for, well, let's maybe not move around as much at Christmas. In many ways, yeah, UK, and this wasn't planned, of course, but, if you can actually get a lot of cases spread out, that's not so bad for not overwhelming your healthcare system. Anyway, so I'll wish you good luck, and let's keep our fingers crossed that everything comes back in time for this Christmas by some Christmas miracle. Okay, thanks for watching.